Today, we're taking a look at a really interesting batch of local news and announcements. It's all pulled from the May 15th, 2025 edition of SFRG Info News, covering the Sierra Vista and Tucson areas.
Yeah, it's quite a mix this time, isn't it? We've got some crucial updates for the military community, some important legal stuff too, and then just a whole host of things happening around town, entertainment, education, you name it.
Exactly. So think of this as your quick way to get a handle on what's significant in this part of Arizona right now. Ever wonder how, the military presence really shapes the local event scene, or how legal changes might specifically hit military families?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's dive in and see what jumps out.
Okay, let's start with something pretty important for service members. The Army CID, this Criminal Investigation Division, they've put in a warning about Blue Lotus products.
Right, Blue Lotus. The name itself sounds almost pleasant. You see blue Egyptian lotus or blue water lily, and it's often marketed as a natural thing, maybe with health benefits, but there's a real catch.
Absolutely. Big catch. CID wants service members to know that Blue Lotus is actually on the DoD's list of prohibited dietary supplements. And what makes it really risky is that these products, they're frequently found to be contaminated with synthetic cannabinoids.
So even if you see it for sale, maybe online, or even in some shops here in the U.S., it's completely off limits for military personnel. It doesn't matter if you're here or overseas. And the consequences, they aren't minor, are they?
Not at all. Possessing it, importing it, distributing it, any Blue Lotus product, it's a direct violation of the UCMJ and Army regs. That can lead straight to criminal charges, administrative penalties, could seriously mess up a career.
And beyond just the career impact, it sounds like there could be pretty significant health risks involved too. Because, these things aren't really regulated, right? So you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah, that's a really critical point. The lack of regulation means these things can have totally unpredictable ingredients. They could cause severe adverse health effects. CID specifically mentions things like paranoia, anxiety, slurred speech, even chest pain or seizures. And these synthetic cannabinoids, they're lab-made substances that try to mimic cannabis effects, but they're often way stronger and much, much more dangerous. Big concern.
Definitely sounds like something to be extremely cautious about. On a slightly different note, though, if someone in the Army community does have info about illicit use or distribution, there are ways to report it, right?
Good.
Confidentially.
Yes, that's important to highlight. CID has resources on their website, cid.army.miltips. And there's also a QR code you can scan for anonymous tips. Reporting concerns helps keep everyone safe.
Okay, definitely good to know. Now let's move on to another really vital piece of info, this time for military families. It's about updates to how a military spouse's income is taxed under the SCRA, the Service Member Civil Relief Act. This has changed a bit over time, hasn't it?
It really has.
Yeah.
The outline here shows the progression. Start with the Military Spouse Residency Relief Act, then the Veterans Benefit and Transition Act, and most recently, the Veterans Auto and Education Improvement Act. Basically, these laws have progressively broadened the options for spouses about where their earned income can be taxed.
Okay, so break it down for us. What are the current options military spouses have for state income tax?
Right now, a military spouse can choose one of three places for state tax purposes. They can choose the service member's legal residence or domicile, the spouse's own legal residence or domicile, or the service member's permanent duty station.
Wow, okay. That sounds like it offers a lot more flexibility than maybe it used to. What are the main upsides to having those choices?
Oh, the benefits are pretty significant. That flexibility directly tackles the whole issue of frequent moves military families face. It can potentially stop them from being, unfairly taxed in states where they don't really have strong ties anymore.
Makes sense.
And the simplicity angle is huge, too. Trying to figure out different state tax laws every couple of years, that's a massive burden for families already juggling deployments and everything else.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And finally, it just brings more uniformity to it all. It aligns the tax options better with the reality of military life and mobility.
You mentioned legal residence or domicile. Can you quickly explain what that means in this context? Is it just where you happen to be living?
Not quite. It's essentially your legal residence or domicile is the place you intend to return to and remain after your military service ends. Generally, it's the state where you vote, register your cars, pay taxes. For a lot of people, it's the state they called home before joining the military.
Got it. That clarifies things. And for anyone listening who's still maybe a bit unsure about how these rules apply to their specific situation, What's the best advice?
Well, the guidance strongly recommends talking to an independent tax professional. That's always a good idea. But also, Military OneSource offers free consultations with mil tax consultants. You can call them at 800-342-9647 or use their live chat. They also point to the FinRed USA Learning website for more on military personal finance and the DOJ website for SCRA details.
Okay, that's really valuable information for our military community listeners. Let's switch gears a bit now. There's an announcement about the upcoming U.S. Army 250th anniversary ball. That sounds like quite a party.
It really does. It's set for June 14th, and it's going to be at the JW Marriott Tucson Star Pass Resort and Spa. The Military Intelligence Corps Association National Headquarters is hosting it. Seems like a really wonderful opportunity to mark such a huge milestone for the Army.
Yeah, 250 years. And June 14th is coming up fast. The announcement mentions ticket sales close on May 22nd. So if this is something you're interested in attending, you definitely need to act quickly.
Exactly. And they even mentioned discounted room rates available at the Star Pass for folks attending the ball.
Nice perk.
Yeah, it's a great chance to celebrate, connect with others. It really underscores how deeply the military is woven into the fabric of this whole region, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And this SFRG Info News is just packed with even more MilLife news and resources, too. It looks like the VA, the Department of Veterans Affairs, is providing updates on a whole range of things, like migraines and women veterans, a safety plan app, online Q&A sessions, info on Google Veterans Career Week.
Yeah, the VA seems really active right now, providing support and resources. They're also talking about careers in new fields like drone technology, mentioning various upcoming events, pushing veteran hiring initiatives, and sharing info about discounts for veterans. Lots going on there.
And besides the VA, there's also the DPRR Weekly Media Update and the Community Link newsletter. Those sound like regular Army community info channels.
They are. The DPRR update is like a weekly digest, important info, resources, events, and the Community Linked newsletter comes out every 2 months. It dives a bit deeper into topics relevant to the Army community, though it's worth noting the views in that newsletter aren't necessarily, official government positions.
Good distinction. We also see mentions of the MOS Friends and Family Connection newsletter from Military OneSource. What kind of stuff is in that one?
That one seems really focused on family well-being, info on MWR summer fun perks, resources for caregivers, updates on new DoD childcare centers, even podcasts aimed at, strengthening connections within military families.
Sounds very useful. And finally, under the MilLife section, there's a safety focus for National Electrical Safety Month, which is May. The key areas for 2025 are e-mobility, lithium-ion battery safety, and disaster preparedness. That feels very relevant right now.
Absolutely. With more EVs, more devices using lithium-ion battery,
yes,
understanding the safety risks is, crucial. The Safety Office is urging everyone to be aware of electrical hazards, both at work and home, and they're pointing people towards resources like the Electrical Safety Foundation, International ESFI. They have materials and videos available.
Good safety reminder. Okay, let's shift gears now and explore the pretty exciting lineup of local events and entertainment happening around mid-May 2025. First up, there's the St. Andrews Concert Series featuring organist Jeffrey Campbell. Sounds like a nice cultural evening.
It does. It's on May 16th. That's a Friday, 7 p.m. at St. Andrews Catholic Church. Mr. Campbell is the Associate Music Director and Principal Organist at St. Philip's in the Hills in Tucson. He's presenting a program called Bach and Company, so music by Bach, Vierne, Whitlock, Susato. Should be lovely. And the best part, it's free and open to everyone.
Nice. Then the next evening, May 17th, Saturday, there's a great option for some outdoor family fun. Free movies in the park at Veterans Memorial Park.
Yes. The movie itself starts around 7 p.m., basically when it gets dark, but the fun starts earlier at 5 p.m. They'll have food vendors, lawn games, stuff like that. The movie they're showing is Wicked, rated PG-13.
Oh, Wicked. So the backstory of the Oz witches.
Exactly. The friendship between Elphaba and Glinda before, everything changed. Just remember to bring your own chairs or blankets to sit on.
Good tip. Now, May 17th and 18th is also Armed Forces Day weekend, and it looks like MWR is offering some free or discounted services at their facilities. That's a nice gesture.
It really is. You can find deals at places like the Arts and Crafts Center, Buffalo Corral, Desert Lanes Bowling, Fiddler's Green, Jeannie's Diner, the golf course, MWR Rents, and the Sportsman Center. And there's also a special event at Buffalo Corral on Saturday, May 17th, a hobby horse event.
A hobby horse event? Tell me more.
Yeah. from 12 to 3 p.m. It's $65 for kids ages 4 and up. They get to make their own stick horse, get a little riding lesson, have a race, and there's even a derby hat contest.
That sounds absolutely adorable. And there's another movie happening that night, a Moonlight movie at Warrior Sentinel Field.
Yes, also May 17th, Saturday at dusk. They're providing popcorn, hot dogs, water, soft drinks. You just need to bring your own chairs and blankets again. They're even teasing a clue about what movie it is on their Facebook page closer to the date, so keep an eye out for that.
Intriguing. Okay, for those maybe looking for a more formal entertainment experience that weekend, the Tucson Symphony Orchestra is doing Star Wars, The Force Awakens in concert, May 17th and 18th at the Linda Ronstadt Music Hall. Wow.
Yeah, that must be incredible. They show the actual film on a giant screen while the orchestra plays John Williams' iconic score live.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's a really immersive way to experience the movie. You know, the one following Reki and Finn teaming up with Han Solo and Chewie against the First Order. The whole thing runs about 2 hours and 35 minutes, including an intermission.
Definitely a unique experience. Now, going back slightly, on Thursday, May 15th, which is today for our listeners, the Thursday night concert series kicks off. It features cowboy poetry with Chris and Peter at Veterans Memorial Park.
Right, this is a recurring thing on Thursdays in May and June over at the Centennial Pavilion. It's free, open to everyone. Just bring a chair or blanket, settle in. Chris and Peter have been playing together for ages, known for great harmonies, instrumental skills, kind of rooted in bluegrass. But they do a lot of original songs too, inspired by the West. They're also involved with the Tucson Opry, have a few CDs out. Sounds like a nice, relaxed evening.
For something completely different, the Richard F. Karras Mirror Lab at the U of A is offering tours, but only until May 16th. Those sound fascinating.
You really do. They're 90-minute tours, and they give you a look behind the scenes at how they make these gigantic, super advanced mirrors for the world's biggest telescopes. It's a chance to learn about the amazing engineering and optics involved and how these new telescopes are going to, change our understanding of the universe. Tours are at 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. daily.
Very cool. Okay, nature lovers might be interested in the hummingbird banding events happening at the San Pedro House. That's on May 17th, 24th, and 31st. A unique chance to see those tiny birds up close, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's a wonderful opportunity. Staff and volunteers from the Southeastern Arizona Bird Observatory, SABO, will be there. They'll be capturing the hummingbirds, banding them, weighing, measuring, and then releasing them. It's all part of their long-term research on migration. And the public is totally welcome to watch the process. It's free, happens from 4 to 6 p.m. Donations are appreciated, of course.
And you can find more info online.
Yep, at www.sabo.org, or you can call them 520-432-1388.
Great. Now, for the runners listening, the Tucson 5000 and Fit Kids Mile is coming up on May 18th at Reed Park. I hear this race is known for being fast.
It is. It's a flat course, USADF certified, and apparently it has a history of setting Arizona age records. So if you're gunning for a personal best, or even just running your first 5K, this could be a good one. They also have the Fit Kids Mile, which is just a simple out and back, perfect for getting kids involved.
Also happening on May 18th at Reed Park, but with a totally different vibe, is a free Ballet Tucson pop-up performance. It's really interesting how many free, family-friendly outdoor things are happening right now.
Yeah, it's great. This one's at 7 p.m. at the Reed Park Amphitheater. Ballet Tucson is doing a free performance, and they'll have live music from the Tucson Pops Orchestra. These pop-up events are designed to bring ballet out into the community, different kinds of settings, not just formal theaters.
Love that idea. Okay, shifting to wine country. The Wilcox Wine Country Spring Festival is on May 17th and 18th. Wilcox has a solid reputation for its wines.
It definitely does. This festival sounds great. 13 wineries participating, plus local artists, craft vendors, live music, food trucks, even a beer garden. And throughout the weekend, different wineries are doing special seminars and tastings. There's even a wine dinner planned for Saturday evening. Sounds like a full weekend.
Definitely. For families with younger kids, back in Sierra Vista, the library is hosting a pajama story time on May 20th.
That's right, Tuesday evening at 6:30 p.m. It's recommended for kids ages 5 and under. Stories, rhymes, crafts.
Yeah.
And yes, pajamas are encouraged.
Fun. The Tucson Pops Orchestra is also continuing their spring series, Music Under the Stars, at the Demeester Outdoor Performance Center in Reed Park. We've got 2 dates mentioned here. May 18th, featuring Catherine Burns singing Carole King's Tapestry.
Oh, nice.
And May 25th, which is a special Memorial Day concert featuring the Tucson Boys Chorus.
Yeah, these are free concerts for the Tucson community starting at 7 p.m. Same deal, bring blankets, lawn chairs, enjoy the music outdoors.
Sounds lovely. The Car Information House down by Hereford, they're hosting a Sunday program on May 18th called The Founding of Bisbee. Wait, no, that's not right.
Let me check. Oh, I see the confusion. The date is May 18th, but the program is actually about reptiles and amphibians.
Ah, okay. That makes more sense for the car house.
Right. Thomas Cohn is presenting. He'll have his collection of live reptiles, amphibians, and insects from right here in Cochise County. He'll talk about them, their habitats. It's apparently always popular, so seating inside Car House is limited, but they are planning a live stream outside for overflow. Starts at 1:30 p.m.
Good catch. Okay, for those wanting to get out and walk, there's a San Pedro Nature Walk scheduled for May 17th.
Yep. Starts at 8 a.m. It focuses on the riparian ecosystem along the San Pedro River. It's described as an easy 1.5 to 2 mile walk, pretty relaxed pace, so it should be suitable for most ages.
And for the foodies listening, this sounds fun. The 2025 Pizza Throwdown and Dessert Duel, May 17th.
It does sound delicious. It's happening from 6 to 8 p.m. at Fresco Pizzeria and Pasteria. You get to sample unlimited pizza and desserts from a bunch of local places and then vote for your favorites. Barrio Brewing Co. will be there serving craft beer too.
Unlimited pizza and dessert sampling. Sign me up. Do you need tickets?
Yes, tickets are required. They include drink tickets and, of course, all those unlimited tastings.
Okay, good to know. And for sports fans, FC Tucson has a home game against Redlands Football Club on May 24th.
Right, that's at Keno North Stadium, 7 p.m. kickoff. FT Tucson plays in USL League 2. And they actually have a discount code mentioned. Visit Tucson25 gets you 50% off single game tickets.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And the SFRG Info News also just rattles off a whole list of other upcoming events stretching into late May and early June. It really shows how much is constantly going on in this area.
It really does. Quick rundown. Summer Safari Nights start soon at Reed Park Zoo. Wyatt Earp Days are coming up in Tombstone. The 8th annual Wine, Beer, and Spirits Festival, Science at Sunset at Flandreau, and end of school year Splash Bash at Fort Huachuca.
Keep going.
Okay. Cool summer nights begin at the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum. The Cinemark Summer Movie Clubhouse for Kids kicks off. The Wiggles are coming to town. Loft Kids Fest starts soon. Chillin' at the Chul happens Fridays and Saturdays at Tohono Chul Park. And the 8th annual Sky Island Summit Challenge is on May 24th. It is a very busy time.
Phew. Okay, that is quite a comprehensive look at what's happening. So just to wrap things up, this mid-May 2025 snapshot we got from the SFRG Info News really paints a picture of a super dynamic community here in the Sierra Vista and Tucson areas. Just a huge range of activities, important updates impacting both local residents and, of course, the military families here.
Exactly. So hopefully you now have a pretty good curated overview of what's going on. It saves you digging through everything yourself, keeps you informed about the key stuff happening right now in the region.
And it really does make you think, doesn't it? With such a diverse mix, military news, legal updates, cultural events, family fun, community gatherings, how do all these different pieces reflect the unique character, the constant interplay between the military and civilian communities here in southern Arizona? You know, what might this convergence of activities, from Army regulations to free concerts in the park, tell us about the priorities and just the rhythm of life in this really vibrant area? Certainly gives you something to chew on.